doing that. Tip number 2 was all about chunking at the right level. Now, do you really know what I mean by chunking? A good example of chunking would be if you thought about your house. Now, what is a house a type of? A house is a type of a building. So a building would be a chunked up version of a house. So what's a chunked down version of a house? Well, chunking down means having more detail. So it might be, what type of house do you live in? Is it an apartment? Is it semi-detached? Is it detached? Does it have 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms? How many reception rooms does it have? So the detail about the house you live in would be chunking down, getting more detailed. And the fact that a house is a type of building would be chunking up. Now, you can also chunk sideways. So other types of building would be apartment blocks, shops, that sort of thing. You get the idea. So why is this important when we're thinking about creating content? Well, if you are always chunked up at too big a level, so you're thinking about all the big concepts, then it's unlikely that you're going to have enough content to really keep on sharing with your audience. The other reason that can be a challenge is that if your audience or your clients are only hearing big concept, big picture ideas, then they're not really getting the how-tos, the detail of like, okay, I get the idea, I understand what you mean, but how do I actually do that for myself? Now, there are times when you want to keep your information in that perspective, in that chunked up version. And it's a great way of starting off a video series. And then the following parts, a bit like this, give your audience more detail about how they actually can do it, the detail. So chunking can be a really useful tool to separate out your content in a way that your audience can easily understand it and consume it. Now, there's another really important reason why it's so important to chunk your information in different ways. I'm sure you've come across some people who are big picture thinkers and others who really, really focus on the detail as their kind of first response. Often people can do a bit of both, but we all have a natural way in which we like to receive and share information at first. So, how do you know if people are big picture or fine detail? Well, the clue's in the language they use. So how are you chunking your information right now? Why don't you pause the video and just take 5 minutes to take one topic that you want to share and chunk it up and see how you could create bigger concepts, and then chunk it down and see how you could create finer detail. And then play the video again, and I'll be back with a bit more content for you. So how did you get on with that? Was it easy to chunk up and chunk down? Did you find it easier to come up with the big concept stuff or the fine detail? Because the chances are whichever you found easier is probably your preference. And it's also probably the way you're most likely to share information naturally. Now, the more you chunk down, the more detailed level, the more content you'll have, because you can take one big concept and make many, many videos or many posts. So your key takeaways for this video are to look at the level you're chunking at and look at this for all of your content and say, how could I chunk this down or chunk this up, whichever you need to do, to create more content out of the things that I'm already sharing. Next video is the one all about how I managed to get 23 different videos out of just one client call. If you've enjoyed this content and you like more of it, come over and join us on Facebook, where I share some great content. And also click on the link below and sign up for my regular email tips. Take care and speak to you soon. Bye.